Welcome to the English class today. I hope you all are keeping well. To begin with the poetry section, we are going to do the poem Go and Catch a Falling Star by John Donne. As we all know, John Donne belongs to the metaphysical group of poets in the 17th century. They were called the metaphysical poets by Dr. Johnson because of their excessive use of conceits, far-fetched imagery, and the exaggerated use of comparisons between the things. Metaphysical poets, to prove their point, they go beyond the boundaries of reality and philosophically argue to convince the reader. In this poem also, John Donne questions the loyalty of women, the loyalty of beauty. And this poem, Donne also argues to prove his belief that it is an impossible task to find a woman who is beautiful and loyal at the same time. So the loyalty of beauty is being asked in the poem. John Donne is also known to be a popular love poet, for the major themes in his poems is love. And when we look at the poems of John Donne fall into three categories. The three moods that prevail in his poems are the cynical love, the conjugal love, and the platonic love. The first phase of his love poems deal with the cynical mood, in which the poet is very doubtful and cynical about the loyalty of love. This particular poem, which we are going to do today, falls into the same category. The next one is the conjugal love. In these kind of poems, in this phase of his love poems, he is quite faithful in the marital love, and he talks about the fulfillment in physical love. And the last and the very mature phase of his love poems is the platonic mood, in which the poet talks about the spirituality of love. Well, if you look at the first stanza of the poem, in the very first stanza, the speaker lists a number of things which are impossible to get or attain. As we can see at the very title, Go and Catch a Falling Star, it is an impossible task to go and catch a falling star, to get with child a mandrake root. Tell me where all past years are, or who cleft the devil's foot. Teach me to hear mermaids singing, or to keep off envy's stinging, and find what wind serves to advance an honest mind. So here John Donne, the speaker, gives all the tasks which are impossible to attain, just to prove, just to strengthen his argument that as all these tasks are impossible to attain, to get, in the same way it is an impossible and very impossible task to find a woman who is loyal and beautiful at the same time. The same satirical vein continues in the second stanza also, and in a very light and humorous mood, the speaker supports his claim further in the second stanza, where he says that even if someone is blessed with the supernatural and divine powers to see the strange invisible sights, even that person will fail to find a faithful woman after riding for years. One can see all the wonders of the world, but not a loyal and beautiful woman at the same time. As he says, if thou beest born to strange sights, things invisible to see, ride 10,000 days and nights, till age snow white hair on thee. Thou, when thou returnest, wilt tell me all strange wonders that befell thee, and swear nowhere lives a woman true and fair. So, in the same satirical vein, John Donne furthers his claim of his doubts towards a faithful woman who is beautiful. In the third stanza, the speaker further argues his claim in a very exaggerated vein and says that if thou findst one, let me know. Such a pilgrimage were sweet, yet do not, I would not go. Though at next door we might meet, though she were true when you met her, and last, till you write your letter, yet she will be false ere I come to 2 or 3. The speaker exaggerates the same critical, cynical mood of his beliefs towards the loyalty of women, and he says that if such a woman exists somewhere, the speaker will love to pay a pilgrimage to her to see such a woman. Then again his doubt intervenes, and he retorts that even then he would not go, because that beautiful woman will eventually turn false after he writes his second or third letter. As he says, if thou findst one, let me know. Such a pilgrimage was sweet, yet do not, I would not go. Though at next door we might meet, though she were true when you met her, and last, till you write your letter, yet she will be false ere I come to 2 or 3. So, in a very light, very satirical, very critical mood, the poet doubts the loyalty of beauty, the loyalty of woman. I hope you have understood the poem quite well. You can go through it again, and if you have any